Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how I built the rain tower. It's pretty much a smaller version of the commercial version. It's about $500. Takes up less space and can be made from parts from the hardware store. I'll put those parts lists on my website, and I'll go through step by step here and cover everything as much as I can with as much detail. So it's a long video, but if you follow it, you'll have one to use on your own. Before I get on with the how-to video, I thought I'd give you a look at the lettuce that I showed you in the introductory video, and you can see how thick that's gotten. Nice and green. And what I did was put this fan on it over here, blowing at the top of the tower, because I didn't want the lettuce to bolt, because these lights are pretty hot. But so far so good. So let's get on with the how to build. First off, you're going to need a fence post. This is a 5 by 5 inch fence post and 8 feet long. I'm only going to use 5 feet, but you can make your tower as tall as you want, all the way up to 8 feet. Here's a quick shot of the label. Well, next you're going to need a reservoir. So I'm using a 5-gallon bucket. And this one I got at the Hydroponic store. It's opaque and black, and I like the lid because it had this punch out, which I'm going to use to access nutrients and probably put hinges on it. And over on this side I'm going to put the hole for the tower. Okay, for the next step we need to cut a hole for the tower to sit in, and I created this template that fits the tower perfectly. And you can download this template on my website on tomorrowsgarden.net. I have a link to it below. And what I'm going to do is take some spray adhesive here and just stick it to the bucket where I want it. Right there. Stick it down. And then I'm going to drill a pilot hole and take a jigsaw and go around the hole outside of this thing and see if our tower fits. Alright, let's test how well this fits. There we go. Nice tight fit. Not much room around here. So, looks good. Okay, now for the spacing of the net pots. What I did was create this template here, which took a long time to do to get the right shape, but I'll make a PDF of it, and you can download it from the link below. And all I did was use some double stick tape, and what I did was space them apart and step them up on each side so that the pots on the inside don't touch each other. And I just used a rubber band to space them to the next level, one above the other, all the way around, going all the way to the top. And now I just need to use some spray adhesive, stick these on, and cut them out with the jigsaw. Alright, next we gotta glue down our templates, give a nice coating of spray adhesive. Very sticky stuff. Then center it. Make sure it's even. And then pat it down. And turn. And we'll do this next part. Okay, I clamped it down to the table using these clamps, one at each end, and I'm ready to drill my pilot holes for the jigsaw, and here we go. Okay, time to make the net cup supports. All this is 3-inch PVC, and I cut it at a 45-degree angle, and it is exactly 2¼ inches, and you can see fits nicely on there. And let me show you how I'm going to cut it. Okay, there you can see I have my saw set at a 45-degree angle, and I also put a little piece of tape on the cutting board that shows me where to put the end of the pipe each time. So let's cut this sucker. What I have here is a 2½ inch by a 4-inch template, and I'm going to put it at the front of the tower, at the bottom, and I'm going to cut around it. And this will allow space for our intake hose for the nutrients, and also allow for the nutrients to come back out the bottom, back to the pump. And I'll put this template on my website also with the other templates. Alright, and there we have it. Alright, at this point we're going to position our net pot holder to the bottom. In that pot you can see where it's going to go. Just keep it even. And we're going to draw a line at the top here on each side. And I'll show you what to do next. Here you can see where I put my markings at the top of the net pot holder. And what I'm going to do is take some sandpaper and go all the way around and get this all scuffed up so that our PVC epoxy holds. And I'll just take some sandpaper and go around the whole edge here. Get it nice and scratched up. Well, I'm using this PVC epoxy. It's called Loctite Epoxy Marine. It says it dries in 2 hours, but I give it 5 hours. And let me show you how I apply it. Alright, squirt out the epoxy. And mix it up. Alright, then apply the epoxy all around where you sanded. Okay, also apply the epoxy piece that we're going to fit in. Alright, now I'm just going to fit it right up to the lines. Alright, and then I'm going to take I'll zoom back here. Ream of paper. Use a phone book or any kind of book. Gives it some weight. Okay, best way I found out to get rid of this knockout is take a sharp X-Acto blade like this one, and I punched it through, which took a little bit of work, and then just rock the lid back and forth, and it'll go all the way around. Alright, at this point we're going to put some hinges where we can access the reservoir. And I just bought some small hinges. They came with wood screws, but I bought some machine screws that we can use. And all I'm going to do is put the hinge there. And then, since the lid is black, I'm just going to take a pencil, because it'll turn up shiny, and color in the holes. Okay, as you can see, I put the hinge on, have it screwed in, but What I need to do now is make sure it doesn't fall inside the unit. So what I'm going to do is take this little piece of extra PVC and I'm going to glue it down so it gives it a little edge to rest onto so that the lid doesn't fall inside the unit. And then I'm going to take some clear silicone, this is for aquariums, and going to coat each of these screws and the nuts with this so that it doesn't corrode, because the nutrients really corrode anything metal. So that should protect it for a long time. Alright, I have my little nub glued on and going to put some aquarium glue on there right now to cover these screws. What I have here is the top to a fence post. This is a 5-inch cap, and what I'm going to do is drill a 1/2-inch hole here and put this 1/2-inch nylon hose barb through it, and it'll distribute the nutrients through a bunch of holes on top and allow the nutrients to rain down on the roots. So I'll drill that hole right now. As you can see, there's the hole, and I'm going to put the T-barb right through the hole and use a little bit of soapy water because it's a really tight fit. You got to press kind of hard to get it through there. There we go. And as you can see, it's in there. I can move it around. And what I'm going to do is drill holes around the outside to let the nutrients rain down. This is vinyl hose. Outer diameter is 3/4 of an inch. Inner diameter is 1/2 inch. And it's going to run up through the center of the tower and feed the top of the tower. And it's just going to connect like that. And I'll show you that later. Okay, at the top of the tower, this is the cap. I have to drill some holes in there, but I didn't know how many holes. So I took a bowl, drilled a bunch of 1/8 inch holes into it, put it 5 feet up in the air, and then ran the pump through it and drilled as many holes as it took to keep that liquid level inside the bowl so that it wouldn't overflow. And so that's my rough starting point for the holes on this. And as you can see, I just took a pencil and drew little circles where the holes should go. This is 20 holes on this one, and that's a good starting point. As you can see, I drilled all the holes, spaced them as evenly as I could, nothing to be exact, and now let's test this thing out. Okay, for the pump, I'm going to use this Eco 264 submersible pump. There's probably 10 different kinds of these Eco pumps, and each one can do a little bit more than the other. This one can pump 290 gallons per hour and can raise a liquid 6.5 feet in the air. And since my tower is only 5 feet, that's plenty to go over. And here's the pump itself. It has a filter. You can see that in there. And then it comes with all these fittings. This one has an air intake. This one looks like it has some kind of spray nozzle, maybe for a fountain. 2 3/4 inch fittings, and here are 2 1/2 inch fittings. And just going to screw it into here, attach my hose, and away we go. Okay, I just power washed the whole tower, get all the debris out of it, and put 2 net pots in there, and I wanted to show you how they crisscross on the inside by looking down the tunnel. Let's see here. You can see the net pots don't touch and leave plenty of room for the nutrient droplets to rain down on them. Okay, for the net pots, you're going to want to use these flexible ones from Sunlight Supply. They have the extra wide rim here. As you can see with my old generic net pots, the rim is not nearly as wide, and these crack, they don't flex. And here's just one I'm going to throw away because we need them to flex to get in that hole. So I'm just going to push it in there. So, fits really good. And then, I'm going to take some white out and mark top edge. And what I'm going to do is melt that with a soldering gun so that water doesn't drip along this edge. Also, it makes it easier to get in there when those are knocked out. So I'll show you how that looks. It goes back about a 1/4 inch. So I'll show you. Alright, we're just going to burn this away like this. Get a good 1/4 inch there. And on this side too. Alright, as you can see here, cut the 2 notches in there with the soldering gun. And what I'm going to do is just pop it in here. See how easy that goes in there now? A little effort. And what this will do is prevent the water from dripping down the edge of the net pot. Okay, what this is a 5/8 inch by 5/8 inch blind stop. It's made out of vinyl. And what I'm going to do is cut 12 4-inch sections, one for each pot that goes in the tower. And what this does, it's going to keep the nutrient solution from splashing out from each pot location. And I'll show you where to put that. Okay, I have my 12 pieces cut, and I'm just going to take a file and get each side smooth. And then take some sandpaper, and only on one side, rough it up, because we're going to PVC glue this to the inside of the tower. And you need a scratch surface for that glue to hold. That should do it. Nice. Okay, for installing the splash guard, you're going to first need to sand the inside above the hole, about 4 inches, same length as the splash guard. And I've done it here already, prepared it. So then you take a splash guard, and I coated it there, you can see. Get it inside. Whoops, turn it this way. Trying to get it on anything, and then just press it right above the hole and center it. You can look down through the top, see how good you're doing. That's the right spot. And that's it. Just let it dry and do all the rest of the holes. Okay, and now in order to keep the top of the rain tower covered, I'm going to install another one on top of this, like that. And then I have these hinges. I'm going to put hinges here so that we'll be able to open it and close it and keep it protected from dust or rain or whatever. Okay, there I have the hinge on. You can see, opens and closes, and that'll keep the rain out. But what we want to do is put some aquarium silicone on these so the nutrient solution doesn't corrode the screws and the nuts. Okay, time to attach the cap to the rest of the tower, and you can see it's going to open this way. And I'm going to put another set of hinges right here to attach it to the tower, and that'll open this way. Okay, as you can see, I have the hinge installed. Don't forget to use the aquarium silicone. And now this opens this way, and this opens that way. Let me give you a front view of the tower. Get a better shot how it opens. Here's the cover, and then the access. Okay, the next step is to run the hose all the way up the tower, all the way to the top, and hold on one second here. Connect the hose. Just like that. Alright, next, attach the pump to the hose, put it inside the reservoir, and stick it to the bottom or the side. Alright, here you can see I notched out part of the top of the bucket, for the electrical cord for the pump to go through, and the lid fits right over that. And inside you can see the tube attached to the pump, and I stuck it to the bottom because there wasn't much room on the side, and goes right up the middle of the tower. Here's the timer that I'm using. It's a mechanical timer made by LED wholesalers. This timer can turn on for 15 minutes and then turn off for 15 minutes all day long. And it was hard to find a timer that would do this, but that's what my tower needed because it turns on and off every 15 minutes. And the plants love it. Let me show you the way I put these net pots in. This net pot here, I modified. I took a soldering iron and grooved it here and here. It's flexible now. And I just stick it in the hole. It goes in real easy and rests on the lip of the 3-inch PVC pipe. And just take a little bit of hydrogen. And here's my lettuce that's going in. This one's past due. You can see the roots. I hope it survives. It should. And then let's fill in all around it. And there you have it. Here at the bottom of the unit you can see this plant here getting an especially heavy flow of nutrient solution, which is no good. That's caused by the roots from the upper plants directing the nutrient solution toward this one net pot just by random. And this will also happen when you first start this system if the hose is leaning against a net pot in an odd way. So what I've come up with is the shield here. It's just an aluminum piece cut off of a dryer vent, and I'll show you that in a minute. I have a template for this for you to download too. And all I did was stick this in there like that, and it keeps the plant from being splashed by all the nutrient solution. So let me show you how this is done. Okay, in order to make those shields I use dryer vent. This is about $2, it's about 2 feet, and it's aluminum, pretty thin, easy to work with, and you can cut through it with scissors. I know scissors are for sissies, but they work well in this case. And I just cut out my template from the sheet here. You can download this off my website. Cut it out and use some spray adhesive. Stick it on. And then just cut around it. Well, just wrapping up this project. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Even suggestions. If you build your own rain tower, let me know, and I'll post photos or videos on my website to go along with the other ones. And this summer I'll be building one of these and have it outside, probably with a variety of micro tomatoes, see how that goes, and maybe some herbs in between until then. So, until next time, take care everybody.